The holiday season is often a time to give thanks and celebrate, but it's also a difficult time for many Canadians. With food costs on the rise, families and communities are heading to the new year with difficult choices. In some cases, that means skipping a meal.
Here's Paul Lethbridge. He's the Director of Philanthropy, Corporate and Community Giving at Breakfast Club of Canada and joins us this morning to talk about what is being done to combat this. Paul, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Okay, we know a shocking number of students continue to go to school hungry. Why, Paul, is this such a big problem still?
Well, it's been all over the news that, the cost of food is just skyrocketing over the last few years. And certainly with inflation, that isn't helping. We're starting to see inflation leveling off a little bit, but food prices are still very high, and it's making it difficult for many families to access nutritious foods. And those foods are so important for kids to start their day, not only to help them physically, but to help them focus in class where they can develop, learn, and grow.
In fact, Paul, 1 in 3 children go to school hungry, and you have even more numbers to share with us that really paint the picture.
Yeah, it's a sobering number when you think about that many kids not having access to something as basic as nutritious food. We operate right now 3,800 programs across Canada, and we're serving or helping about 650,000 kids every day. And that's really great. But unfortunately, the need is even more than that. There's about 800,000 kids a day in Canada that don't have access to a nutritious meal in about 3,000 schools. So we're really working hard with the community and with our generous partners to try to close that gap and feed as many of those kids as we can.
Yeah, and tell us a bit more, if you could, about the great work that the Breakfast Club of Canada does. What difference have you seen, maybe, Paul, personally, in some of the kids who receive these breakfast programs?
Yeah, I've had the fortune of attending many breakfast programs across the country. Not only are we seeing kids having access to food, it's really providing a safe space and a building community, because kids are coming together. They're able to have access to these foods. All kids are starting their day off on an even playing field. Every child has access to the same breakfast every morning. And, for some kids, they feel if they don't have breakfast in the morning, that they're not on the same level maybe as some of the other kids. This way, every child in the school has access to the same breakfast if they need it to start their day.
The reality is there is still so much more that can be done.
Yeah, there is, and we're working with our partners to close the gap that I mentioned before about the 800,000 kids not receiving access. And, we do have a generous support system, and we are working closely with all levels of government to advocate for more support. And indeed, there was recently an announcement from the federal government about the National School Food Program, which is great, but it takes a while for those things to kick in, and there's a lot of kids that are still waiting. And even when that does happen, it won't meet all the needs. So, we're really relying on the support of the community, and a lot of your viewers can help out by giving a very, very meaningful gift to support us and help feed kids in the new year so they have access to nutritious morning meals.
All right. If you can help out this important cause, there is the web address. The website is right there at the bottom of your screen. Paul, thank you so much for your time with us this morning and the great work that you and the Breakfast Club of Canada continues to do.
Thank you.
This portion of the morning show is brought to you by Breakfast Club of Canada, a better start for every child.